compilation video for the new folks, and there's always a handful every month. This video, we take all of the release information for a given month, obviously September 2016, and compile it into one little easy-to-find video here. That way, if you're looking for a specific kit, or maybe, you don't watch every single week and you might have missed something, or, like I said, you just want everything in a one simple place to go over to see what you might be spending your money on this month, Shazam, here we are. So we have a pretty decent amount of stuff for the month of September here, both domestically and overseas. Starting on the domestic side, I think there's only one automotive release from Revell in the month of September, and that is the new Corvette C7R, the race version of the new Corvette Stingray. The only thing that seems to be a little of concerning isn't the right word, but yeah, concerning, is the fact that it's only going to have 64 parts. That seems to put it into the same sort of, it does have an engine, but it's in the same sort of curbside die-casty chassis that the last Corvette kit had. And I guess if it sold well that way, then, why change anything? But it's still not, a major content in the way of parts that you might expect, especially from what is being termed as a skill level 4 kit. I think the only thing that makes this a skill level 4 is the fact that it's not snap tight, I guess, because I thought skill level 4 would be a little more parts than 64. But be as it may, I know a lot of people are excited for it, and overall it doesn't look like it's too bad of a kit as far as proportion-wise goes. Over at round 2, they've got, 3 kits from AMT and 2 from MPC. One of the AMT kits is already out, so they're working hard already for this month. And the one kit that's already out, and we'll cover this in the Friday video, is the 1/16 scale 1955 Chevy Nomad kit. They're also going to be releasing the 1980 Camaro Chevera, which is an old snap-tight kit from, of course, the 1980s. They're going to mold this in brown and tan, so apparently, it's a couple of drops of something dark away from being a Guinness. But new decals there. I don't think that, what decals that kit had in the back of the day. I think I built one when I was a kid. I can't remember. A lot of people were sort of, it's a shame it's a snap-tight kit because the Chevera really was a real thing. It wasn't just like a goofy thing that AMT came up with. And then speaking of Camaros that are a little more robust, they're going to be releasing this month their 2016 Chevrolet Camaro SS full detail glue kit. This is going to be available in 2 releases, either molded in white or molded in garnet red, the way the snap-tight kit was. Now, the difference in the boxing is, obviously, it's not going to say snap it on the front like the snap-tight kit has, and the car on both boxes, so there'll be a sticker on the outside, plus, of course, on the bottom of the box, it always tells you what color the plastic is molded in. The car itself will be red on the box. So if you want the glue kit, look for the red Camaro on the box, not the silver one. The silver one's the snap-tight kit. The MPC releases this month will be the 1975 Datsun pickup, the Scavenger tow truck, monster truck thing. It'd be really cool, but probably unfeasible if they could go back and find the inserts and various pieces to convert this back into a stock 75 Nissan pickup truck or something approaching it. They obviously have the body still exists, but where the chassis is at this point, I don't think anybody knows. Where the actual engine is, I don't think anybody knows, because the thing's got like a giant blown Chevy or something in it. And it has for the last several releases before it became a monster truck, because the Scavenger tow truck thing was a thing of its own right before it was put on the monster truck chassis that MPC used. And then the other release this month is the 1979 Chevy Nova, the Squad Rod, if anybody's old enough to remember that issue. This is a 2-in-1. You don't have to build it in the goofy 2-door, Interceptor police thing that they made, because you're right, sit there and think about it. It's the 79 Nova. Assuming it used the 79 Nova parts and you just put side pipes and a couple, that's an awful smog choke 350 that's in that kit. It's a 79, so probably the fastest thing would have been a Corvette at that point. Maybe a Porsche 911. But, you can't build a stock Nova out of it for anybody who's just trying to build that Malaise era collection of Volaires and various AMC products. Moving overseas, there's kits coming out of a bunch of different places. Some of them are hopefully finally releases of somewhat delayed products. Asuka has announced, and we'll talk about this more in the Friday video, a Zundap KS750 Zundap for people who are not up on their World War II history or their European history, or the fact that this is a pretty obscure thing, but I think they have done it before as a military item, is a motorcycle. Zundap is probably more correct pronunciation. That was made for the Wehrmacht exclusively because the actual motorcycle they were making at the time wasn't quite rugged enough. It's an interesting subject matter in the sense that they're doing it as sort of a civilian version, of which there were none. But there's always the possibility, of course, that some of them existed beyond the war after Nazi Germany fell, because they made 700 and some odd of them. So it's possible that some of them would have been confiscated, survived, so to speak, and re-entered private life, as it were. We'll talk about the weirdness of this kit, just the way it's engineered, and the new parts or the newness of it, that's why it's being reissued. They also did one with a sidecar. Those two kits are probably still available, although if you're searching for them, and Asuka is a Japanese company, used to be Tascam for the military guys, you're going to have to look under like military ground vehicles and then 124 scale when you search for them, because they're not going to just be in the automotive section, because they're military kits. Let's see here. I just got a thing in my nose, and I don't want to snort on camera. Ebro should have their Type 91 Lotus out. That's the 1982 version that came after the two Type 88s that never ran. BMAX's Nissan 280 RS rally car really is coming. Actually, if you want one bad enough and you don't have one on pre-order someplace, go to hobbyeasy.com. They're a vendor in Hong Kong, sort of what they build themselves as sort of being the Amazon of Japanese model kits. They also, of course, sell everything else there. And it's not just automotive stuff. They sell everything there. They've had it for a couple of weeks now because, of course, BMAX is in Macau and Hobby Easy is in Hong Kong. So, obviously, you don't have to ship anything anywhere. And, ship from one island to another. It probably went on a ferry. But it didn't have to go through Aoshima to be distributed worldwide the way the kits do when they go to Japan and outside of Japan, because if you go through and try to find that kit, a lot of times it's listed in with the Aoshima stuff because they're distributing it, and a lot of people seem to think that Aoshima makes it as well, which isn't true. They just distribute it. And then this month also we should get the Meng Hummer H1. That was supposed to come out last month, and then as you watched it, it's just kept sliding. Now it's like next Saturday, which I don't think it's going to come out on a Saturday anyway, but yeah, it'll probably come out this month, maybe. We'll see. Over in Japan properly, Fujimi is issuing 2 124 kits and 3 120 scale F1 cars. The 2 regular scale, if you will, cars are the Toyota Estima Zeus, which is a tuner version of the Toyota Estima minivan. And then the second generation Honda NSX-R, as the one that has like the composite clear headlights instead of the flip-up headlights. A slightly redesigned car that, technically speaking is the second generation. We did get them here in the United States for like a year or two, and then they became a Japan-only thing. These will be JDM-only kits. Nobody has made a left-hand drive version of that body style, if you will. Like I said, it's just a little bit different than the first gen. It's sort of Gen 1.5. Also, I guess technically it is a September kit release. If you want to buy it here in the United States and pay a little bit more for it, but have it right away, the Tamiya 2017 Honda NSX is in distribution. I think Stevens already has it, and a couple other places have it, which means your hobby shop should have it in a week or two. So people have been discussing it as far as what the price is going to be. The wholesale price of it is pretty much $1 less than the Japanese price is. But, of course, nobody's going to sell you one for wholesale unless you happen to be a hobby kit distributor or a hobby shop. More realistically, it's probably going to end up being probably $10 to $12 more than it's going to cost you to buy it through HobbyLink Japan and then ship it with, even with shipping included. So, it all depends on what you want to do. realistically, the kit is coming out in the middle of October in Japan. It's already here in the United States. How far it's gotten, into the web of distribution remains to be seen, but it'll probably be next week, maybe the week after. What do you want to do as far as getting one? People seem to be okay with paying a little bit more, so be that as it may. I clearly don't have anything to build, and I don't need it. No, I'll get mine from Japan, and then get it when I get it. It's not that big of a deal. Also, in the Fujimi thing here, the Ferrari F10 that'll be available in either Japan, Germany, or Italy Grand Prix variations. The Tyrrell P34 six-wheeler, done in the 1977 Japan Grand Prix, and the Brabham BT46B, done in the 1978 Sweden Grand Prix, or Swedish Grand Prix. Hasegawa reissuing a bunch of race cars this month. Lancia Stratos HF in the Chardonnay livery, that's for the Tour de Corsa in 1975. The Jaguar XJR8 in the Sprint type configuration has a slightly different body style than the Le Mans car. The Omron Porsche 962C, the YHP Nissan R89C, and the Denso Toyota 88C. So a bunch of Group C cars there. Keep in mind that all of the Hasegawa kits are curbsides. If you're shopping for it compared to some of the other Tamiya, not versions, because Tamiya didn't make some of those kits, but if you're looking at those type of kits from Tamiya, because Tamiya did make a 962, and they did, I think, make an R89. It's a curbside kit, much more basic than the Tamiya kits. Over at Aoshima, some stuff here and there. In the model car lineup, remember the new boxing series, they're going to be reissuing the JZX 100 Chaser Toro. Yes, that's right. They're chasing a lawnmower. Chaser Tourer 5 Aero, the Nissan S13 Silvia K, the Nissan KPGC 110, Skyline 2000 GTR, that of course the 73 Ken and Mary, if you will, Skyline, and then the Nissan Laurel HT 2000, that's a 1975. Keep in mind the Skyline and the Laurel are old kits from the maybe 80s. I don't think I would say late 70s, but 80s for sure. So they're motorized. They're very, very basic in that, in that line. They've got very, very fancy new box art that sort of belies the history of the kits. The tuned car series is going to get a reboxing of the Nissan Silvia S15 Vertex Ridge and the Toyota Alphard Silk Blaze, a VIP van for you guys. And then just in the actual reissue line of things, they're going to reissue the model car boxing of the 2013 Crown Athlete, the 2014 Nissan GTR, also reissuing the 1972 Skyline Hardtop 2000 GTR Grand Prix Edition, which is the original version of what the Liberty Walk kit is, and I would show you the Liberty Walk kit, but those August reissues haven't come out yet. And also the 1977 Skyline 4-door 2000 GTE. We're also going to see a reissue of the Countach, Aventador, and Mitsubishi Evo X, Evo 10 Photo Etch. And yeah, that's it, actually. I'm out of things to talk about. So, anyway, guys, that's what's coming for the month of September. October, is going to be, filling itself out here in the next couple weeks. And, we'll see what comes of it. Third quarter, of course, we'll start seeing some of the All Japan Hobby and Toy Show stuff filter in. So the reissues, obviously not the new stuff. That'll be towards the end of the year around Christmas. But nonetheless, that should be there's a few things there in September I'm actually looking forward to, and I hope you found something to spend your hobby dollars on as well. Anyway, guys, we'll see you on the other side.